explain something and it's like impossible to explain, but I'm gonna try my best. Technically speaking, it is impossible to do every Flatground trick because there's literally an unlimited amount of tricks. You can always just add another flip, spin, body rotation, revert, or whatever to an existing trick to make a new one. So I had to draw the line somewhere, right? Which ended up being way harder than I thought. My first idea was to draw the line at what I'm calling the Flatground fundamentals, maybe cookie cutter is a better word for it, which is basically every trick that has a universally known and agreed upon name. Like every trick you would see in a Tony Hawk Pro Skater game that actually had like a labeled trick name. And that is a good idea because that eliminates all of those tricks with silly names that were just invented on YouTube, and those shouldn't be a part of the list anyways. Another good thing that did is it eliminated all of the double and triple flip variations of those fundamental tricks. So for example, the list would still include laser flips, but the list wouldn't include like laser double flips, laser triple flips, laser quadruple flips, because again, that just ends up going on for infinity. However, that also ended up being a downfall of this list, because if you're going to filter out every double flip variation, you're also going to eliminate just regular double flips and like tray double flips. Those are all super common tricks. And actually, by using this list, it ended up eliminating a ton of super common tricks, like all of those that I showed earlier. And if all of those tricks are super common, I should obviously be doing them in a video about landing every Flatground trick. So I had to come up with a new and improved model or system to create a list that would still include all of those really common tricks while also eliminating all of those tricks that shouldn't be a part of the list. And I think I actually did it. Let me show you. Look at this. Quick opening note, these are all Flatground tricks, which means no obstacles. One more note, no freestyle tricks. All traditional skate tricks, like tricks you would see in a game of skate. So no like Rodney Mullen primos or pogos or like truck stands, stuff like that. All right, so I developed 3 metrics. Metric 1, which is blue, metric 2, which is green, metric 3, which is red. The blue metric, universally known and agreed upon. Metric number 2, not ambiguous or too out of the box. And metric number 3, humanly possible on flat ground. So let me get into a few examples of these. A trick that would fall under the blue metric but wouldn't align with the other two would be like a 900 quadruple flip. Now obviously no one's ever done a 900 quadruple flip, but if somebody did do a 900 quadruple flip, you would just be able to see like, oh my god, that guy did a 900 plus a quadruple flip. It's a 900 quadruple flip. It would be universally known and agreed upon. Everyone would agree that that's what that trick was with no argument. But obviously it doesn't align with the red metric because it's not humanly possible on flat ground or humanly possible anywhere. There's nothing that falls under just the green metric because if a trick was not ambiguous or too out of the box, it would be a universally known and agreed upon trick. All right, so an example on the third metric, hang 10 hard flip, humanly possible on flat ground, but it wouldn't align with the others. Mostly because a hang 10 hard flip is way too ambiguous. It's a hang 10 hard flip, but it really flips like a nollie hard flip, and really you're just pushing the nose of your board with your 2 feet. It's really more like a pressure flip than a nollie hard flip. It also flips like a nollie inward heel depending on which way you look at it. Also, how would you do that trick fakie? Would you pop with your heels? Like, it's just way too ambiguous. There's way too much gray area. Some tricks align with 2 of the metrics and not all 3. The Christ Air. It is a universally known and agreed upon trick, which means it's not ambiguous or out of the box. Everyone knows what it is. It's a labeled trick on video games. However, obviously, it's not humanly possible on flat ground. Dolphin flip. A dolphin flip is not ambiguous or out of the box, and it is humanly possible on flat. Technically, this trick is universally known, but it's not really agreed upon. Some people think it's a dolphin flip, some people think it's a forward flip, and some people just think it's a varial flip that's really inverted. So at least the name isn't agreed upon. Second to lastly, this little purple slice right here, tray flip 360 body varial. Again, you could break that trick apart into its components. His board did a tray flip, and then his body spun 360 the opposite direction. Everyone would know that was a tray flip 360 body varial. 360 inward heel body varial, same thing. 360 hard flip body varial, same thing. These are humanly possible on flat ground. However, they don't align with the screen metric because they are so out of the box. But that's not even the worst part. The worst part about this purple area here is the implication, because if I'm gonna have to do a tray flip 360 body varial, that means I'm gonna have to do that in every stance, which implies that I'll also have to do a tray flip 180 body varial, which if we're throwing 180 and 360 body varials into the mix, that means every other trick. So every laser flip I would have to do a 360 body varial and a 180 body varial. Every 360 hard flip, every inward heel, every varial flip, every pop shove, every single other trick would also need a 360 body body varial and a 180 body varial in every stance. Sure, if I wanted to dedicate the next 10 years to this video, maybe I could do every single possible trick that you could conjure up in your head, but it's not realistic to do that. And also, who's to say I couldn't add 540 body varials in there? It kind of ends up going on for infinity again, like we were trying to avoid earlier. Finally, if the trick aligns with all three of these metrics, you have every flat trick. This is the list I'm going to be trying to complete. I will say there is still some gray area with this list. It's kind of an impossible task to try to compartmentalize and categorize a thing that's really infinite. I'm kind of swimming upstream by even trying to do this. Lastly, there is a baby metric, not too hard for a real person, considered possible. The reason I think I needed this yellow metric here is because a quintuple kickflip falls under humanly possible. Like if you wanted to get a skateboard that was 4 inches long, dedicate like years of your life only trying to land a quintuple kickflip, and you just train your legs to be like anchor arms from SpongeBob, I think it is in the realm of human capability, but they would be so close to the realm of impossibility that can't be considered a flat ground trick, really. Final note, the other lists in this video have some tricks on them that technically wouldn't be included using these metrics here, but if I can do them, I might as well, right? Dude, I feel like a schizophrenic trying to explain this.